Yo, yo, check. 1, 2. We are back. The mic is on. Everything is working. And we back early. This is my first morning interview, so I'm hype about that. I feel like it's gonna be a little different. Um, but welcome back. It's episode 6. We are back at the still untitled podcast. I don't got no name for this shit, but that doesn't matter. That'll come later. And I got a very special guest today. We got New Jersey, Elizabeth, New Jersey's own, the E-Town General, rapper, producer, mix engineer, fucking you name it. This dude does it. And really appreciate you stopping by. We got the one and only Brainorchestra in the building. What's good, brother?
Yo,
My guy.
what up?
Shit, I'm chilling, man. How are you?
I'm chilling, man. Just spending my morning chilling. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a
man.
rainy day, so taking it easy.
Are y'all getting some rain up there?
Yeah, a little bit. Like it kind of slowed up, so the weather's like, you know what I mean, a little gray, but it's nice.
It's mellow, man. That's when I be getting shit done for real.
Mm-hmm.
That gray weather be like, I don't know, something about it. I'm like, all right, well, time to go inside and work.
I start cooking heat, man.
Straight up. And you've been cooking heat, man. And honestly, I just had to start with because I was listening to Jet Forest Orchestra as I've been listening to it a lot. And that shit is excellent, man. Great work on that project.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, for sure. It only seems fitting to have you here talking about beats, and you just dropped like the beat tape of the year. Um,
Oh man, thank you.
Nah, straight up, bro. Because that when I was just listening to it and the seamlessness of it all, like it really just flows. It sounds like you're listening to one long song.
Yeah, it's
And
been the idea since I think for a long time I was making beat tapes and they would just be, they'd be dope. Like, shouts to all the people who have supported like shit like My Persona and Message to You and
mm-hmm.
like things like that were like the start of like this kind of like production style that I'm going for as far as how I present my beats, right? Because it's like we can make beats all day and put fucking beat tapes out all day, um, and that's cool. And there's nothing against that, but I'm really like just fascinated by how far we could take it, like
Yeah,
and the Proglodyte series is what really put a battery in my back. Like shouts to Seb Bash for real, cause
hell yeah,
Seb Bash really like when I linked up with him, like he showed me a lot of dope things that I was able to like just apply to my practice and kind of like be on my shit, you know what I'm saying? And I always gotta give it up to him because he really cracked my head open with a few things about just making beats feel like, you know what I mean? Like how they should to me, you know what I mean? I don't
yeah.
know. It's a hard thing to explain, but
No, I feel that, man. And well, it is a hard thing to explain, but it comes across musically. It don't even really
yeah, it's
got to be
magic,
explained.
bro. It's like dead ass like magic tricks, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah, and it sounds like that, bro, and it really does. Because I was talking to Drive By on the last episode about um certain things crossing over that realm where you're like, all right, I know this is a beat, I get it. These are the drums. This is the I get it, and you can understand it. Versus like
mhm.
something just kind of being something you just kind of exist inside of. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's a good project to get lost in. Anybody listening to this who has not listened to Jet Force Orchestra, definitely go run that because that's how it's supposed to be done, man. And the mixing on that project is really, really great. I wanted to talk about that. Um, I've told you every time I've seen you do a live show that like the mix always sounds so clean. Like what?
Thank you, bro.
Of course. And I was just listening. I was somewhere in the middle. I don't know which track it was because I don't even look at the track names. I'm just like listening to this drum. But it just seems like everything was sitting perfectly. And your mixes have gotten better and better. Have you been like taking special attention to that or doing anything specifically to kind of elevate the overall sound of these projects?
Yeah, yeah. I think another big thing for me was getting a new laptop at the top of the year.
Word.
Shouts to my man's Bucky Luger, amazing producer out of Wisconsin. Um, I went there not last year, and we recorded a whole project. Like he just wanted me to rap on his shit, and we just been building for a long time. and he managed to help me get a new laptop. And I was working on a 2015 for like everything everybody has ever heard from me before this year was made on like a 2015 laptop up until then, like
Word.
um so that's kind of what like drove me into getting more hardware and shit like that in general, because like my laptop is slowing down. But once I got a new laptop, I had got like in a better position just generally, financially, all that. So I subscribed to the Waves monthly shit to like, I was like, yo, I'm gonna subscribe to this for a year and like try a bunch of plugins and like find a new version of my sound, right? Because like as a producer, I found like mixing chains that really personify what the sound I'm trying to get.
Mm.
So it was a challenge to like build on my old mixing chain with new plugins and like create a new wave, you know what I'm saying? Like a new sonic approach to my shit. And yeah, it's been something I've been paying a lot of attention to, because I was like, damn, I waited this long to get a new laptop. Like there's so much crazy enhancement that we could do to our shit. It's honestly insane. Like, so
Man.
it really pushed me to like develop my mixing to a way more professional level. Like just getting cleaner with my shit and maintaining that raw shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Absolutely.
we in that where we got the tools to balance it out now. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. And you really said it, and that speaks to me personally because I'm sitting here recording this on my 2015 MacBook, which I love because it got the CD drive, and I don't ever want to really,
Fantastic.
I never want to let it go. But yeah, there's definitely something to be said for that, just like upgrading the gear and getting it. But yeah, maintaining the rawness. And when you start off with the newest shiniest thing, you can't always appreciate like you
Yeah,
know,
like I started with a bullshit HP laptop like 15 years ago, like
man.
and little ass desktop speakers. So it's like now I'm at a point where 15 years I've been sitting in front of speakers. You know what I'm saying? Like studios, like
Yeah.
Bluetooth speakers, headphones. Like, after, when you put, I've definitely put over 20,000 hours into this shit. Like you build your own world within your studio, and your mix becomes your universe. Like for a while it's like you just mixing it to sound good, and then now our head is so wrapped around this shit, at least to a point where we could create effortlessly. Not that we're always learning, but I can sit down and make beats all day. Now it's like bringing that feeling, and then that's where it's a whole nother conversation.
Nah,
Theory,
facts.
understanding like sonic timbres, and like vocabulary that enhances our understanding of this shit. Like it gets super deep, man.
It
So
it does, man, and I'm glad that you appreciate that. And you mentioned something very important with the 20,000 hours because people will probably be in your DM all day, like, yo, how do you get your shit to sound like this? It's like, yo, I could tell you what I'm doing, but the fact that it took me, this amount of time to get to this point is really how I'm doing it. You know what I mean? I know how
yeah,
to
it's like
adjust things.
I flipped a fucking million samples, son.
Yeah,
Like I done
yeah,
laid drums on every beat machine in this fucking room like 1,000 times. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah. Getting the
you
reps in,
get
man.
to a
Putting
point
shots
where
out.
like, you know, you don't want to get comfortable, and that's why these things like new laptops, like mixing chains, like, the way I have my setup now is like I got my record player going into a tube amp, and that's going into the MP, and that's going into the SP, and then I have a master into Ableton, and like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you utilize your tools, you generate like a classic sound like that. When you do it for that long, like you're just gonna have that sound, like,
Yeah, and you
you know.
surround yourself with music. I mean, just from an outside looking in, you can tell that you've built a world around yourself physically with like full of speakers, full of samplers, even to the records. Like everything you do kind of like ends up being around you. You're like in the middle of it. And it
Yeah,
often it really, not to make a lazy comparison. I know you've heard this before, but I mean it really reminds me of some Alchemist shit. Like anytime you see him like working out of that stew, it's like There's a million records. There's huge speakers. There's a million things going on bigger than you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
bro. Nah, and I appreciate that. I mean, like, bro, on some G shit, like that's the type of like people that have shaped my understanding to this shit. People like Alan. So when I hear that, it's like word, like, I'm trying to be like one of them, bro. Like
yeah,
as far as like a representation, bro, like that's it. Like I always talk about that photo, the two photos that inspired the shit out of me
hmm.
is one of Dilla like crouching and like digging in that one shop. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
very iconic photo of him.
yeah.
And the Madlib photo where he's in his room and there's just fucking records everywhere. Like
Everywhere.
everywhere.
That's a
Like you can't
crazy
even walk in
picture.
the room. Like
Yeah, and
that to me is
drums.
like, yo, and I know it's a little sacrilegious, but this video popped up where it had a breakdown of all the samples from like the Loop Digger, like history of the Loop Digger shit and how he used it. But I'm talking every sample, bruh.
No
Like
way.
the voice drops, like everything, and you're watching this shit and you're like, yo, that's some real like bass in mute. Like he's so involved in, he's so like addicted to music. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. He was
he's
listening to
hearing shit.
everything.
Like when you see that shit, you're like, God, bro, like
You
yo,
know
this
what
is
though? We
he
should
did
talk.
this in '97. Like what the
Yeah,
fuck?
like 90. That shit says, what is it? History of the Loop Digger 90, 94 to 90 something. Like early 90s to like,
And I'm like, bro, this motherfucker was doing this in '96. Like,
that's
bro,
crazy.
we got work to do.
We
Like,
got work
we
to do,
got
man.
work to do.
And he's another one. He lived inside of music. Like that picture perfectly encapsulates it. Like he is not the biggest thing in the room. There's a million drums. There's a million pianos. I'm like, and they're just
Yeah,
like
you
laying
get
on
it.
top
You
of each
get it.
other.
It's like when you have all these records, it's like these are just you just got so much like it's like you got session musicians with you.
Yeah, and it's not pristinely up on a wall somewhere. Like this shit is getting used. These are the tools of the trade. You know,
Yeah.
like you go into somebody's garage and they got all brand new tools and they're all put up real nice and clean. You're like, I don't think you be working on shit.
Yeah, bro. That's but you can
Uniform a
hear
little
it.
too
You know what I
clean.
mean?
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
can hear it. And you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that it might be sacrilegious because it might be worth talking about that for a second because we're all very obviously anti-sample snitching, but it has come into my mind recently thinking about that because I listen to that album probably every other day. Like I'm not even
Yeah,
kidding you.
that's like bro. That shit is
And I get fascinated because I'm like, I want to know. I legitimately want to know. I would like to know and keep it low, but I want to stumble upon it. I don't want it just fed to me. But also,
yeah,
there
that's how
is
it happened to me. It was like all samples like 30 minutes long. I'm like, what the
Jesus,
fuck?
Jesus.
I was sitting here just smoking joints, like, damn, like this guy is
Yeah,
really crazy. Like, and it just makes you sit back, like, damn, I gotta get right. Like,
gotta get right. Gotta
I
get and
gotta get right,
and no
man.
matter how
Like,
much work I think I'm doing, it's like, nah, yo, you got work to do.
you always gonna get reminded. That's why they're the goats, cause they shaped this shit. Like,
Yeah,
it's like I said this to my mans. I'm like, I feel like Alchemist is dropping my favorite Alchemist beat like every other week.
every other week, dude. And or like my
I'm just
favorite.
like, damn, bro. I'm like, what the fuck?
Or
Like,
like my favorite full album, bro. Like they got the Arm& Hammer joint about to come out. I'm like, wait, but the other joint just like he did Two Chains and Larry June.
he's in a wild. Like I was talking with him the other day, and yeah, he's just in a wild bag right now. Like he's just
Wild bag.
that's just like a representation of working so much, having so much shit, and taking like seizing the moment. Like
Yeah. And
he
never
got too
stopping.
much shit. Like he got joints for fucking ever. Like the
Forever.
guy. I mean,
Forever, man. I and you know what? Like not to get way too crazy with it, but I've never in my life met a hater of Alchemist music. I've never heard somebody like like on the internet, motherfuckers go troll and whatever.
yeah,
I
but
get
like
it,
in real life, we're not even. Yeah, the
bruh.
internet's
The
bullshit, bro.
internet
In
is
real life,
whack.
ain't nobody saying that shit.
Man, you can't sit there and say nothing negative about what that man has done with the MPC 2500 and with making these albums. You just can't. And you know
Just as
what?
an artist in general, like my man,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
really like a great example of what a hip hop producer should be. Someone who just putting up points on the board with the best that are coming out,
Mm-hmm.
acknowledging like folks like us, like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
that shit
yeah.
is crazy to me.
Dude,
Like
no
still,
bullshit.
like
What last
it's
time
dope as fuck.
I saw Alchemist. Alchemist walked into Crate Diggers one day, random as shit. Like me and Bob are just standing there bullshitting, talking about I don't even know what, and Al just walked in, and I was like, oh shit, like we in Philly. I'm like, what the fuck, what's good, man? Like he just walked right up to us. We were like talking, hanging out, smoking and shit, chilling, and we're like, yo, man, like what's going on? Like what brings you to Philadelphia? He's like, oh yeah, Larry June at the TLA right around the corner. Like y'all want to come? It's sold out. I was like, what? And he put us on the list, man. And not to like put the shit on blast, but I'm like, he don't know me like that. Like he's a good dude, bro.
But
Like
that's the type of dude he is. Like he gonna pull up. This I'm sure the way he saw it was like, oh, they smoking L's in here. Like I
right,
fuck with these motherfuckers. Like he
right,
like
right,
he's
yeah,
dead ass like us. Like
yeah. And I
in
be
a sense
seeing
where
him.
like motherfuckers is just people, and I think that's the best part of this is like we getting to meet these folks, and a lot of like the folks we look up to are like real cool dudes, bro. Like
Yeah, I've learned a lot about that in the last couple of years since.
shouts to Ev, like that's
Yeah,
my man's right there. I fuck with him the long way. Like he's cool as hell. Like everybody, you know what I'm saying? I just met the cool kids the other night. They were fucking cool as hell.
that's fire.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
it
fire,
just be
man.
shit like that. Like cats are cool, man. It's just putting the work in and
And
getting around it,
the
right? Like
underground is lit like that too because you go see fucking Sabrina Carpenter, you're not gonna get to go hang out with her and smoke weed probably. You know what I mean? And not that you should
yeah,
just
but you'll smoke L's with Al if you in
right, right,
the
and get right. Like he not Hollywood, man. It's very he's a good dude. And speaking of Al, I definitely wanted to ask you about this because when I last time I saw him, like on some like just I think this was at the West Side Gun Joint at the TLA, and I was like in the same area as him for a short while, and I'm like, man, he like dipped off and took a nap for like 11 minutes, and like came back and did this and did that. Like time management is almost something that seems so dialed into everything that he does, and I can see that with you because you do a lot of stuff. Like
yeah.
how have you like shifted your time management? You obviously got a lot of stuff to do. I mean, you work like a real job. You like do the record chamber. You do the Patreon. You make albums. Like, how do you align your time, or how have you like worked on that?
I think I just like prioritize this shit a lot. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
just prioritize my time. Like, you know what I mean? Like any chance that I get, I wake up early to make sure that I could work. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll get up early. Let's say I have to work all fucking day or some shit. I'll get up early to get my 3 hours in of making beats or sampling shit. Writing stuff up for the blog. It's just, I think the best thing I could tell any artist is like, if you want to make art and survive, it's like you need to prioritize your time, and that requires a lot of sacrifice too. Like you know what I mean? Like
hell
you
yeah,
just I don't know. I just scheduled the time. You know what I mean? We got 24 hours in a day. I spend like 6 7 hours of that time sleeping. So it's like I just break down my days like really really strangely. Like, but I try to I try to just put some time every day to do something. Like
yeah,
even if it's make a beat, flip a sample, uh, go through a record. Like it becomes second nature, bro. Like I've been doing this for a long time now, and I think I've always been this way. I've just been a studio rat. You know what I'm saying? Like throughout my early 20s, I was hustling, so I had hella time on my hands. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I was just in the fucking studio all day, hustling and making music. And then, once times changed and I didn't want to be like moving around all crazy and shit, and seeing that music was making me money, when I invested my money into it, like I was making it back and shit, like I just really sat back and was like, all right, like I could sacrifice some hours of my week if I just spend my open hours getting shit done so that whatever money I get, I could just invest that shit. And it just becomes like a natural thing after 10 years. You know what I mean, bro? Like, you
yeah,
just prioritize the shit out of this, bro. Like, you can't be halfway when you want to, like, make this, like, a job. Like, you know, I love making music, but this shit make me money now. So I got to think about it like where, you know, people are looking out for shit. They're ready for me to drop stuff to support it, right? So I keep that in the back of my head like, you know,
Yeah.
people are waiting on stuff, so I'm gonna keep supplying it, and that's just kind of what keeps it the schedule going.
That's real, man. I needed to, I know that about you, and we've talked about that a bit, but now that there's a platform that I hope that beat makers and people will listen to, I needed to get that recorded because I notice a lot of people who bullshit, and bullshitting is fine if you just want to bullshit, but you can't bullshit and then also be like, I want this, I want that, I want, you can't say you want it, you have to work like you want it, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah, we all want it, but you
Right.
know what I'm saying, like
Like
you
who's
gotta
gonna
work
get it?
towards that shit, and it's like yeah, it's like yeah, you just can't go halfway. Like people focus on the wrong shit too, bro. Like, you know
Every
what I'm saying?
single day. Every single
That's a
day.
whole other conversation, but that
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's a focus thing. It's like I'm addicted to this shit. Like I personally gotta make music to feel good. So it's like I'm doing
Real.
it anyway. But
That's
like,
real.
yeah, it gets addicting to the point where you're like, you're just always doing this. This is a natural thing.
Yeah, that's a common theme with my guests so far, and I believe with my guests that I still got coming up. People are very compulsive in a good way because we all have our addictions and our vices and stuff. So it's good to be able to be like, yo, I need to make a beat. Like the thought to enter your brain, like I need to make beats right now, is like it's pretty constructive, and I really fuck with that. And so you said you were working on the older laptop, and it's very similar to what I'm dealing with because as this thing kind of slows a little bit, I'm doing more hardware. And you're like an MPC user and an SP user. Which have you been using more of lately, or have you been like using them together?
I've been using everything together and kind of just tracking a lot of shit into Ableton, bro.
Ableton is the
Like
goat.
I'll flip something, like I'll loop something up, cut something up on the MP, and then do some type of like enhancements on the SP, and then flesh out my ideas in Ableton. Like, I feel like the way I'm using my tools nowadays is like they're like pieces to a puzzle, you know?
Hmm.
Like, I still make beats like on the SP, and I'm definitely like cooking up full joints on the MP,
Of course.
but it's been a little while since I like exclusively did that. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
think it's because my ideas are just flourishing better using the tools and creating like this Voltron effect with my setup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Ableton is so good for that. I mean, everything going into it, like it's all just I don't know. That's like where the big idea kind of comes about. Uh,
Yeah, it's a giant mixing board that you could just do whatever the fuck you want. I mean,
have you experimented with mixing in the box? Like I know you got a live or a one.
I have a one. I
Do you
also have the live one, the first one. But
yeah? Do you
I
like
mix.
the
I be doing that. Like, I definitely could mix joints in the
yeah?
box, but again, it's like I just, I was saying before with the mixing, like I have a developed sound through my mixing board in Ableton, so everything ends up in there. Like
Right.
to just get that extra push, like it's just a part of the sound at this point. Like, I can make heat in the box all day, but
Right.
once I add those little like those little a little icing on the cake, like the shit just it pops, you know?
So so when you're going to mix like you're making a beat for the sake of making an instrumental, um and obviously you're tweaking stuff as you do it, like you said you're punching stuff up in the SP and then bringing it into Ableton. But what does your kind of order look like? Like what do you address in terms of your mix? You're like, yo, I need to get these drums right first, then get the sample, or like do they play off of each other?
Yeah, it's that definitely. I'm definitely always thinking about how they're comparing to each other. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's we could add drums all day to beats and shit like that. Um, but to me, it's like you get to a point where you listen to samples and just songs in general, and the amount of drums and styles of drums that exist really enhance like the track for what it is, right? Like
Yeah.
you got like some real open shit, some tight drums going hit, or some real reverbed out drums work with like real, and you know what I mean? Like everything is just based off of feel. So I think like lately I've been sampling first a lot. Like I'll sample first a lot. I used to do drums first, but lately I've been sampling first and then I'll sit there and find drums that really emphasize like what's going on
Yeah.
with the mix of whatever sample or composition I'm flipping. And then from there it's like, everything starts kind of gluing together. Like adding a bass line, finding some accent samples to layer and shit, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
um all that kind of just comes together. But it's for me it's always like I'm always sampling some shit and then I'm spending a good amount of time on drums, like finding drums that really make it make sense.
Yeah, that's what's up. I was thinking about it. I think the first time I met you was on the West Coast,
Mm.
in
In
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And DiBiase, it was you and DiBiase and I believe Fresh Daily,
Mm-hmm.
and like Monzrock and all the homies out there. That was when I still lived out there. And
Yeah.
I asked you, because Divvy was playing beats and we were standing outside smoking. And I remember asking you how you get like the live set, like what do you, like the live set was fire, and I was like, yo, how do you like that shit sounded very very smooth straight through. Do you remember the advice that you gave me? Because I kept it in my head ever since then.
I can't remember.
You were like you're like, bro, because you said someone else, you heard it from someone else and passed it along, and I appreciate it. But you were just like, yeah, if I'm at 90, I'm just at 90. You know what I mean? Like my whole entire set, like damn near, is like at this BPM, or if I'm like turned up, it's gonna be that for like a few minutes, and then it just that makes all the beats, like whatever beats I already got, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like I'm keeping like a cohesive head knock
Yeah,
throughout, like, and I've definitely done sets where it's like, things are different and
sure,
moving around and
but that
tempos are
joint,
changing, but when it's like on some hip hop shit, it's like I'm gonna start at 82,
yeah,
and by the time I'm done, I'm at 90 BPM, and
right,
like people's heads are not. Your head don't stop moving.
yeah,
It's just every single beat you start going like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like a synergy thing. You know what I
that
mean? Like you creating a tempo for people to live off of for a little bit.
Yeah, that was some of the best advice I had gotten because for whatever reason up until that point, and I had just really started making beats and like playing them outside. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, I like this beat, and I like this beat, and I like this beat, with no thought in my head as to how they might correlate. So maybe that's obvious to people, but I ain't know. So it's like to make this live
I mean that
set
shit
to the
works. It
BPM.
works for it works. You know what I mean? Like, but I know for you it's different because you're like thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's some DJ shit. Like at the end of the day, like
right.
you
And I am
know,
not a
it's
DJ.
just DJing. Like we DJing our beats.
Yeah,
Like beat sets are just DJ sets, but we doing them with different machines and all that. But you know, I used to do that on my SP too. Like when back in the day when people first started getting hip to my shit when I was on the 555,
oh, that's right.
I was doing beat sets the same way. I was just loading. The beat one would be the start at a slower BPM, and every beat would just progressively get like faster. You know what I mean? And I always kept that idea in my head, even on that SP and shit.
Damn, I forgot you had you're like a 555 user. We got a lot of 555 users coming through the
Oh
pod.
yeah, I was early on that over here. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real. I think I was one of the few people in the East Coast that was using, probably one of the only, respectfully, at that time that was using a 555. Everybody was using 404s.
The 404 was,
I would pull the 555 out, and dudes wouldn't even know what the
they'd be like,
fuck it
what the
was. Like,
fuck? Yeah. Yeah, that shit, especially like the D Beam is crazy. Like the whole, and I was talking to Drive By yesterday. He's a big 555 user, and I think
he
he's
was
a,
another one that popped up with that, and I was like, oh, all right, word.
yeah, yeah. Like
Yes,
it's,
sir.
And they're few, and that was one of the ones when I had real bad gear acquisition syndrome. I'm like, I need a 555 and I need a 303.
Yeah.
You got a 303, right?
I had one. I sold it to somebody who wanted it. I wasn't using it.
Mm,
You know what I mean? I wasn't really using it. I just like I'm one of those people where I'm like, this is cool, novelty wise,
right.
but like I'm not using it. Like, so I'm gonna go. I'm not one of those guys who's just gonna collect shit to have it. Like, I get it as far as like archival purposes and
Sure.
like pulling it out, but I found myself like, you know what I mean? I'll look over that shit, got mad dust on it. I'm like, man, someone I could sell this to someone who's gonna fucking use this shit every day. Like,
Yeah. Well, if you
and
use it,
I feel like it's more of a disservice letting your shit catch dust. You know what I mean?
yeah,
As opposed to somebody actually using the shit. Cause I'm not about that shit. Like, I'm not like a lot of there's people online who will just buy shit to buy it and be like, yo, I got this.
right.
And
Never use it.
if you're not DiBiase, like, I don't really care. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? To be honest, he's the guy that's like, I can make beats or anything. Like,
And
I
will.
get it. We could all do that, but people get it twisted. Like, they forget that motherfuckers like him been around for like fucking 20 years, like
Yeah.
25 years. So it's like I'm more of a use what you're comfortable with and what you're actually using, as opposed to just having it to have it and say that you have it, or people come over and they're like, oh, you got a 303, like, and you don't even plug that shit in, like, you know what I mean?
And that's a fact. And you know what? As soon as my 303 started getting a little bit dusty, I put out my 303 tape. And now every year on March 3rd, I always drop a 303 tape.
Yeah, because see, you have a reason, like you built a reason around using it and shit. Like me, I just never like I was using it for like effects and goofy shit. Like I
that
just
compressor
put my
is
2000
tough.
XL back out. Like I'm trying to use that shit.
I'm sitting here looking at my 2000. The only reason, like, and this is one I would use all the time. The only fucking reason I don't use my 2000 more often, I replaced the pad sensor, and I think I fucked it up because I'm getting a lot of double triggers on it.
Yeah, and just making beats on it just takes forever, bro. Like,
Yeah, but you know what though? On my soapbox with that, same thing with the 303. Sometimes when making a beat takes forever, it makes me focus on certain shit, or like I'm not gonna do this every day, but if I spend 2 hours making a fucking really cool beat on the 303,
yeah, it'll work. Yeah,
and I'll remember like when I use my normal shit that I actually make beats on, like some of those like ideas carry over on what to focus on. You know what I mean?
no, that's real, bro. Cause like I'm not a like cats be thinking I make mad beats on the SP, and I really don't. But there's a few beats that I've made albums that like they're the ones that I make that I'm like, all right, this joint is fucking fire. Like,
Do you be
like,
resampling?
I'm an MPC head and an Ableton guy. Like I'm a record player and an MPC. Like that's really all I need. Like, but the production doesn't translate on the SP for me the same. And when I work on the new 404, I feel like I'm like working on an old MPC with the amount of time and button pressing.
Yeah.
It feels good though. It reminds me of that. And I've been like forcing myself to learn how to make more beats on this shit because they did a good job with like expediting the process of making beats on an old machine. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you could record, copy it in 2 seconds, make patterns. Like you can make a beat on that shit fast as hell if you know what you're doing. So
yeah.
I'm trying to learn more and diversify some shit. Like, cause your 303 tapes and cats like, all the old Madlib shit. Like, that shit's like, come on, bro. These motherfuckers is on 303s making this.
And
like,
that's what made me want to do it. Him and Raj G and like people like, yo, wait a minute.
Raj G,
Sam I Am. Bro. These dudes were going crazy with that shit. So like for me, like, I feel like I want to see what it took to do that. Because when I'm thinking about Mad Villainy, like a fucking 303, like what?
This guy was wilding.
That's crazy as hell.
Guy was wilding. He was in Brazil going crazy.
Because that's not easy, man. For anybody listening who's never fucked with a 303, that's not easy to do.
The beats he was making was not easy. That's pure like wizardry, bro. Like that's that's born talent. Like that's not some shit you learn. Like that's some shit you're born with. Like he
And
was, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
he was doing shit that was unheard of. Like on the 303,
and
it
he
was
was
wicked.
super locked in, man. Like I think that's the big takeaway.
And
I
I
think
think that's dope. That like, I mean, again, like hearing people like you say that, it's like word. Like maybe I should sit down for a week and make a tape and send it to you and see if it's valid.
man, no, yo, like
On the
I'm always
404.
about that. I'm always about that because it just tricks your brain. Because I know where my thing is that I do normally. Like I'll sit in Ableton and make beats that are my best beats, but when I'm tired of that, I'm like, let me go make a beat on the OG 404 just to bug my own brain out a little
Just to
bit.
feel something.
Yeah, yeah, it like remakes me want to like have the curiosity about it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But it's interesting because your sound is, like I said, is mad clean, and it is such a signature sound, and that comes from Ableton a lot of the time and from MPC. Like it's like Alchemist, man. I keep going back to Al, but like that man is using a 2500. That is what the fuck he uses. Everybody knows it. You know what I mean? And like he's using other things as well, but like he's got a signature sound. So I just feel like it comes across in a similar way. Like you're definitely an MPC dude, and all the NPC heads listening. I hope y'all are getting jewels off of this shit.
Man, thank you. Yeah, it's yeah, bro. It's so crazy just seeing when you see somebody like Al working on a machine like a 2500 and making joints like that. It's like fuck, man.
It's nuts. I've only used one. I want to get one, but then again, it's like gear acquisition syndrome. I can't just do that, I got to lock in with something and just not fucking do that.
No, that's real. It's a big ass machine too. I mean, like that
Yeah,
thing is huge.
that shit takes up the whole desk. Did you see the? You ever seen the X, the MPC X?
Yeah, that thing is ginormous,
That shit is
bro.
a spaceship.
That shit is huge. And I mean, the MPC 5000. I don't know if you ever seen one of those.
Yeah, there's one of them actually sitting at, or there was one sitting at Society Hill Loan. I'm blowing the spot up. I'm about to bleep that out because it might still be there. Not that I
Yeah,
want one though.
that thing is my man's elite. Shouts to my man's elite. He be working on that shit, man. That thing is crazy, bro.
Sometimes I feel like niggas be getting certain stuff as a flex. You know what I mean? It's like everybody because
Nah, he's had that shit for like 15 years though. Like
that's tough. But I mean, even at the time, it's like everybody got a 2000. You're like, fuck y'all, I'm getting a 5000. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
that's really it's
respectfully,
like fuck everybody.
respectfully, and you know what? Keep flexing. And I think I want to point out, in my humble opinion, I don't think there's no wrong answers to this shit. I think if you make heat, make heat. If you can make it on the phone,
Look at the cats on Koala.
yeah, literally.
I'm just like these motherfuckers are crazy. Like,
Do you make koala beats?
yeah, hell yeah.
That's what's up.
Hell yeah, I love Koala. That's such a great. It's just such a good. It's a good ass like program to make beats. It's like an MPC in your pocket, bro. That's it.
And that shit is like $10.
That's definitely like if you have an iPad or an iPhone or anything, but like yeah, like if you just want to make beats, that thing is probably the best thing to start at. In my opinion.
You could cook. I've been putting people onto that shit so much, man. Like this is damn. This whole podcast is damn near about to just be an unpaid koala sponsorship, but I'm not even tripping. Like shout out to Mazbox. I need to get him on here. And yeah, shout out to all those people involved. I'm actually going back through my notes to see. It's funny because I like, what questions should I ask everybody? But we've already basically covered them. What did you start on? Oh yeah, what did you start on? What was the first thing you made a beat on?
First thing I made a beat on was a desktop computer in school.
Hell yeah.
FL Studio.
They had FL in school?
So in my school, there was I went to kind of like Elizabeth High School got a bunch of high schools, and every high school had like, one was like performing arts, one was like, like general work shit. Like it's weird. Like you would be able to go to a school and like they had extra classes that you would be able to take that were in your preference, I guess, right? So I went to like a performing arts school, a lot of music, and they had like a small like production room. And this is when Elizabeth started getting like way more budgeting for the school system.
Hell yeah.
So we had a music MIDI class where it was just learning how to make music digitally, like on FL and Logic, and it was really just a starter class. Um, and wait, I wanna backtrack. I made my first beat on FL in my house actually,
Word.
because by the time I went to this class, I already knew how to make beats. Like I was already privy to that. And shouts to Mr. Sabbath. I always shout him out. He's like a teacher that just kind of like changed my life. Um, but
Word.
we were talking one day. He was like, "Yo, you should take the music MIDI class. Like, I see you're always got your laptop here and you're making beats at lunch and shit." So, I started working on beats in class. Everybody else was still learning the shit, like how to record, how to program. I was already like doing that. So he was just like giving me separate assignments and shit. So really a lot of like my fundamental like starting up was like in my house and then quickly in school. And a lot of my first beats were made in school for sure. Like skipping class, you know, they had a soundproof booth with like some monitors and a Mac setup and all this shit. But it was like the size of a closet. So like he used to let me like skip class and like go to the room to make beats and shit. And the room was like in the back of the classroom. So like if you turn the lights off in the classroom, like you wouldn't be able to like tell that anybody was in there.
Whoa.
So like I used to just make hella beats. I mean a lot of shit was like yeah, in that little ass room. Yeah,
Damn.
it's
Man.
crazy.
Shout out to music education and music programs that still exist in schools because that shit is rapidly deteriorating. And
Yeah, it was a blessing because like I don't know who I would have been if I didn't do that. Like, and all throughout my life, I took music classes like kind of unconsciously
mm,
until like eighth grade, freshman year of high school, when I was making beats on my laptop. Then it kind of clicked like later on in life, like oh, I did all that because I just liked making music. I like music overall.
right.
So all of that was like super important to like the beginning of what this is now.
That's great because when you're young and you're like able to play and be interested in music that you like actually give a shit about, like it's not like just you're in band and playing classical music that has no relevance to your life. You can like make beats in high school, like you're good because that's around the time of your music discovery. You're first finding out about like what you really like, and you can make the connection. And that shit, I guess,
Exactly.
it works out. It definitely works out. Music education is very important, and if you got kids and if you're around kids and you can put them on to music and teach them music, man, do that shit because
Yeah, facts.
start them young. Started on FL. That's what's up. We know what you've been cooking on lately. That's the MPC and Ableton. Um, oh yeah, and then is there any techniques on your beat making device? Let's say that on the MPC that maybe people might not know or that you didn't find out till later that you might want to share for the people, just like some MPC sauce that helps you.
Um, yeah, one thing I can say something slight that is fun sometimes is like putting like, getting your 1 to 4 count drum recorded, but putting it on different parts of the grid, like not on the 1, 2, 3, 4, and
Right.
then sampling around that. Um, it sounds weird, but like if you like shift around your snares and your kicks where they're still doing like, you know, a 4 count, but you put your snare like in a different, I don't know, it's so hard to explain, but it's like if you could get a 4 count with your drums without putting it exactly on the 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you start like kind of sampling over it, you'll get like different grooves and shit. Like, like
Real.
mess with time. Like the
Yeah.
kick doesn't always have to be like on the one. And I'm saying that I haven't done this technique in a while, but you kind of asking this question reminded me about like just cool MPC shit. Like you got to use the MPC kind of loosely. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, all those
Like
tools are there for a reason.
So
That's
try
what's
that.
up.
Try making some weird drums that are not exactly on the time and sample around it and see what happens. You'll get some crazy grooves out of that shit.
Yeah, especially when you do stuff like that. And then the one thing I was underusing on the MPC is like just muting stuff out in general. So like when you get a
Oh
weirder
yeah.
groove, like once you really take the drum out and you have the weird groove and you like run it through, like your compressor or your mother ducker or whatever, like you get some weird noise out of that.
Yeah, bro.
And then you run it through your SP303.
Yep.
We bring it we bring it
And
full
then it
circle.
gets the magic touch.
You know what I mean? That's what's up. And then the one question that I've been stumping everybody with, of course, is the Mount Rushmore. We need it of beats.
Oh man.
Respectfully, we not hurting nobody's feelings, and everybody's getting their flowers. You know what I mean? And we don't love Mount Rushmore. We hate colonialism, but it's a metaphor.
Yeah. Um. Man, I Dilla
Of
for
course,
sure. Um. I guess my Mount Rushmore right now in life is Dilla, um, Madlib,
of course.
fucking. Oh man, the last two always get me, bro. Um, bro, Easy Mo B kind of been up there
Hell
for me
yeah,
lately.
hell yeah. Right.
Lately. That's I think I don't know, but and I don't know, man. Alchemist, Alchemist there. You know, what I mean, there's so many, but I think right now in my life it would be like those four because
Yeah,
I'm listening to a lot of their shit like as a collective, just still learning. So
yeah. I
I
like
feel
the
like it always comes back to like the trifecta. You know, the three for me is like Al, Madlib, and Dilla right now because they really shaped my sound. You know what I mean? What I understand. You
yeah,
know what I mean? But Pete Rock could be on the Mount Rushmore, like Havoc. Like it's just so many guys. Like
yeah.
it's a hard question.
It is a hard question, and I'm
The
making sure
Easy
that
Mo B, I feel like I've been listening to his shit lately, and I've been like, man, these shits are crazy,
just
like,
knocking, stupid knock.
like stupid. Like
Yeah, yeah. They
he remind me to make the shits like hit. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Because it has to, man. I mean, that's like,
yeah,
if that's what you're going for, yo, you gotta really, really come correct. Like this shit, it's like, yo, this beat needs to knock. Like this shit needs to have, like,
yeah. After this call, I'm gonna send you some shit too.
yeah, I need that, bro. I definitely need that. And let me see. I think that was the question. We did the Mount Rushmore question. We did all these questions. Yeah, and then the very last thing I always want to do is just say, if there's any other people out there that you want to shout out, people you know or you're working with or you're listening to or anybody at all, again, respectfully, if you leave somebody out, I'm sure they'll understand.
Nah, yeah, man. I mean, shouts to my horror homies, the NJ Street Clan,
Yeah.
Maroof, my man's BD. We got some new shit that we gotta start working on.
Hell yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. Shouts to everybody. I see my boy Fat Boy Sharif in Jersey out there.
Jersey is
You
up a
know,
million
like
points, man.
my boy Ewan. This is too many people to shout out. Shout out to you,
Appreciate you.
fucking man. Everybody that's just been showing love and keeping in tune and working with the homie because I owe it to a lot of other people in this shit. You know what I mean? It's so many names that like have just helped me get myself out there and you know what I mean? The world. Shouts to the world.
That's real, man. We expressing gratitude over here. We sharing information. I'm gonna try and get this to as many people as possible because obviously there's a lot of people out there who make beats and who appreciate hip hop as a whole, rap, beats, whatever you want to call it. And we just trying to bring it all together, you know what I mean? Share some information and get this shit out to the people. So shout out to everybody listening and shout out to you, Brainorchestra. Thank you for pulling up to the show. I genuinely appreciate you, for real.
Q, thank you, bro. I appreciate you. I love what you're doing. You're asking the right questions and you're getting the right people.
Man,
And yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with this, bro. For real.
Appreciate that, dog. All right, bet. We signing off then. Episode 6. It's a wrap. Everybody have a wonderful day and fucking wash your ass. Peace.